Study Session 4, the Endocrine System. Introduction. In this study session, we will focus on endocrine system. The endocrine system consists of glands widely separated from each other with no direct anatomical links. Endocrine glands consist of groups of secretory cells surrounded by an extensive network of capillaries, which facilitates diffusion of hormones from the secretory cells in the bloodstream. They are commonly referred to as the ductless glands because the hormones are secreted and diffused directly into the bloodstream. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this session, you should be able to 1. Describe hormones. 2. Highlight the functions of specific hormones in the human body. 3. Distinguish between underproduction and overproduction of these hormones. Hormones. A hormone is any of a large number of chemical substances secreted by an endocrine gland into the bloodstream by an endocrine gland. This secretion is transported to another part of the body where it binds to a specific type of receptor. At the receptor site, the hormone exerts a particular effect. The effect enables the endocrine system to function as a communication system between cells independently of the nervous system. Most hormones are produced from amino acids, in brackets, proteins, and fats. Keeping the internal environment of the body in a stable condition is maintained partly by the endocrine system and partly by the nervous system, while the autonomic nervous system is responsible for rapid changes. The hormones of the endocrine system are involved in slower and more precise adjustments. The endocrine system consists of a number of distinct glands and some other tissues in other organs. Although the hypothalamus is classified as a part of the brain and not as an endocrine gland, it controls the pituitary gland and has an indirect effect on many others. Types of endocrine glands are 1 pituitary gland, 1 thyroid gland, 4 parathyroid glands, 2 adrenal glands, in bracket suprarenal glands, the pancreatic islets, in bracket islets of Langerhans, 1 pineal gland or body, 1 thymus gland, 2 ovaries in the female, and 2 testes in the male. The level of a hormone in the blood is variable and self-regulating within its normal range. A hormone is released in response to a specific stimulus, and usually its action reverses or negates the stimulus through a negative feedback mechanism. These may be controlled either indirectly through the release of hormones by the hypothalamus and the anterior pituitary gland, e.g., steroid and thyroid hormones, or directly by blood vessels of the stimulus, e.g., insulins and glucagons. The effect of a positive feedback mechanism is amplification of the stimulus and increasing release of the hormone until a particular process is complete and the stimulus ceases, e.g., release of oxytocin during labor. Hormones and their specific characteristics. Pituitary gland. The pituitary gland and the hypothalamus act as units regulating the activity of most of other endocrine glands. Anterior pituitary gland. The anterior pituitary gland produces the thyroid stimulating hormone in bracket TSH, the luteinizing in bracket LH, the follicle stimulating hormone in bracket FSH, the adrenocorticotropic hormone in bracket ACTH, and prolactin. The functions of these anterior pituitary gland hormones are as follows. 1. As a growth hormone, it stimulates growth of body tissues, especially the long bones and skeletal muscles. 2. The TSH stimulates the growth of the thyroid gland. 3. The LH is a gonadotropic hormone necessary for increasing the production of progesterone in females and testosterone in males. 4. The FSH is a gonadotropic hormone necessary for increasing the production of estrogen and maturation of ovum in females and production of sperm in males. 5. Prolactin stimulates milk production. 6. The ACTH increases the secretion of steroid hormones by adrenal gland. It helps in regulating sleep pattern. Oversecretion of the hormones of the anterior pituitary gland causes gigantism in bracket very tall people and acromegaly in bracket coarse facial features, enlarged tongues and large hands and feet. Undersecretion causes dwarfism, lack of sexual development, obesity and sterility. Posterior pituitary gland. This is the part of pituitary gland that produces oxytocin and vasopressin. The oxytocin controls uterine contraction and breast milk expulsion, while prolactin stimulates milk production. The antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin reduces urine output by increasing the permeability to water of the distal, convoluted, and collecting tubules of the nephrons of the kidney. The vasopressin constricts blood vessels and raises blood pressure. Undersecretion of the hormones of the posterior pituitary causes diabetes insipidus. Pineal gland. It produces melatonin, which contributes to regulation of circadian rhythm of the body, including sleep activity cycles. It also hinders the growth and development of sex organs before puberty. Thyroid gland. It produces trypsin and threonine, which increases metabolic rate, growth, and maturation. Oversecretion causes thyrotoxicosis, while undersecretion causes cretinism in children and myxedema in adults. Parathyroid gland. It produces parathormone, which increases blood calcium level if low. Oversecretion causes reabsorption of calcium from the bones, thereby raising blood calcium level. This could lead to formation of stones in the bladder, muscle weakness, and general fatigue. Undersecretion causes tetany, which is characterized by vitamin D and calcium deficiencies, as well as strong painful spasms of skeletal muscles. Adrenal cortex. It produces hormones from cholesterol. The hormones that it produces are collectively called corticosteroids, which are glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, and sex hormones. Glucocorticoids are essential for life, regulating metabolism and responses to stress. Mineralocorticoids produce aldosterone, which maintains the water and electrolytes of the body by stimulating sodium reabsorption and potassium excretion. The sex hormone produces androgens similar to the ones produced by the testes. It reduces secretion of salts by the kidney. It also stimulates the liver to elevate blood sugar, as well as causing increases in the metabolism of proteins and fats. Oversecretion of glucocorticoids causes Cushing's syndrome, characterized by painful deposits of fat on the face (moon face), muscle wasting as a result of excessive protein catabolism, among others. Undersecretion of glucocorticoids causes reduced glucose uptake and muscle weakness. Oversecretion of mineralocorticoids leads to excessive production of aldosterone, causing excessive reabsorption of sodium chloride and water. It also causes excessive excretion of potassium, leading to syncope and muscle weakness. Adrenal medulla. It produces epinephrine and norepinephrine. The effects of these hormones are similar to the effects of the sympathetic nervous system. They increase the heart rate, increases the blood pressure, divert blood to the essential organs, increase the metabolic rate, and dilate the pupils. These prepare the body for emergencies. The effects of oversecretion of the epinephrine and norepinephrine include deposition of fat in the lumen of blood vessel, hypertension, excessive blood sugar, nervousness, etc. Undersecretion of hormones of the adrenal medulla causes a reversal of the above conditions. Hyposecretion of mineralocorticoids leads to low production of aldosterone. This results in failure of the kidneys to regulate sodium and potassium and water excretion, leading to hyponatremia and hypokalemia. These are called Addison's disease. Pancreas. It produces insulin and glucagon. Insulin is required for reducing the blood levels of stored nutrients, especially glucose after absorption. The hormone increases the entry of glucose into cells, as well as increasing the storage of fats. Glucagon increases conversion of stored fats to glucose. Undersecretion of insulin causes diabetes mellitus. Ovaries. They produce estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is necessary for promoting ovulation and promoting the development of female sexual characteristics, while progesterone maintains pregnancy. Testes. They produce androgens, which enable sperm production, growth of pubic hair, and male sexual characteristics. Study session summary. In this study session, we examined endocrine system. In the process, we described hormones and highlighted the functions of specific hormones in the human body. In conclusion, we presented how to distinguish between underproduction and overproduction of these hormones. End of study session 4. Thank you for listening.